Hi guys, it's Amy, Francesco's mom. A lot of people are asking for an explanation of the surgery video, so that's what I'm going to do right now is just give a quick overview of this is actually Francesco's heart, so I can actually explain what are they doing and why. Okay, so this is actually Francesco's heart. This is all artificial. This is his Fontan surgery. And this part up here is artificial as well. That's called the Glen, the first one he had. And so down here sits your liver. And because this system is a little bit inefficient, the blood is backing up into the liver and it's causing liver failure. Okay. So it's causing liver failure, and when we are reaching signs of distress with the liver, they have to fix the heart. They have to do something to improve his anatomy, which is really kind of mind-boggling to all of the surgeons because no one really understands why he's set up the way he is. So yeah, this is the actual heart, actual measurements from our last surgery, so it's kind of interesting to look at. But we have three options. Our first option is a full biventricle repair. Okay, right now Francesco doesn't use the right side of his heart. Here's his lower right chamber and his upper right chamber. And here's the pulmonary valve, and this is the tricuspid valve. This is not being used. This is being bypassed with the Fontan and the Glen surgery. Well, based on the size of this chamber here, this lower right chamber, this was very, very small when he was born, but coincidentally has been leaking. You can see this valve's open. It's been leaking, so over time, the chamber stretched, and it's actually a pretty decent size. So full ventricle repair would be, let's try to take all this down and give him back his right chambers, top and bottom, and see if his heart is strong enough to do the pumping. The question is, though, will the heart be strong enough to do the pumping? And they won't know, and they can't tell until the actual surgery when they try to give it a go. He'd need a new pulmonary valve because this is, or excuse me, a new tricuspid valve because this is closed. And he has no pulmonary valve. That's just this little flap that stays open. It doesn't work. So they would replace these, take all this down, and see if it would be able to pump efficiently to relieve the backup on the liver. So we did a liver elasticity test when they did his last liver biopsy, and you want to be like a range 1 to 5 is normal, 7 is concerning. Francesco's at 12. So now it's time to do something, okay? So the second thing is, if this full bivent doesn't work, there's something called a 1.5. So this is option 2, 1.5 biventricle repair. And that means, well, we can't, he has these two on the left, which work great. 1.5 means, okay, we can't give you both right chambers, but we can give you one. So maybe we change this anatomy where we keep the tricuspid valve closed, but we go up and we go through the pulmonary vein this way, and then we pump out blood to the lungs. That would be the second option. The third option doesn't really have a name, but there is a third option if worse comes to worse, and that's just basically improve, replace the Fontan. So there we go. So the third option is to replace all of this Fontan. Nobody understands why this conduit, it's called a conduit, it's curved, and it's also too small for an adult heart. It's still, as a baby, this was the right size to give him, but now it's time to upgrade. Nobody understands why this is curved. So what happens is the blood flows through here, and it's supposed to go across and pump to the lungs. It'll kind of like swirl down and come back up. But the problem is, it goes up, it swirls down, it takes this big detour into the bottom right ventricle because this isn't closed. That's the second mystery. Why was this left open? No one can understand. So as the blood pumps up and just kind of swirls around, it's losing all this efficiency. It's just sitting there. So there's congestion. So the congestion goes all the way back to the liver. And then this is where the liver gets in trouble because there's always too much blood sitting in there. So the third option is, let's give you a better Fontan. Let's close up this leak. Let's make this easier to pass through and go to the lungs. Okay, so these are our three options. Yes, it's very risky. The surgeons felt that it was a 97 to 98% success rate. They would definitely improve his current anatomy because no one understands why it is the way it is. It's completely inefficient. He's the only Fontan kid they've ever seen with this kind of a setup. And it's time to do something now while he's strong before we see any more systems in his body start to shut down. And most importantly, the liver, because some kids, they wait too long and then they need a heart transplant and a liver transplant. So a lot of this is similar to what we went through 2 years ago when I made a video about his heart. But the urgency now is that the liver's declining, so it's time to do something. They feel very confident in that this will work. So we will be setting our surgery date for early June. As soon as I have the date, I'll let everybody know. So hopefully this video is helpful and just giving you guys an idea of what's going on with Fran. Okay, thanks for watching.